Following his meeting with the chief prelates, presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa unveiled his manifesto to the general public in Kandy today.
The manifesto titled Sajith's Social Revolution was launched at the Queen's Hotel in Kandy today. The attendees at the event included the Mahasangha, religious leaders, leaders of political parties and members of the general public. The manifesto was first presented to the Mahasangha and religious leaders. The manifesto was then handed over to leaders of political parties. Presidential candidate Sajith Premadasa has based his program on 20 points. They are affordable prices and high life quality, shelter for all, universal preschool for all, universal higher education, universal healthcare, accountable leadership, zero tolerance on drugs and corruption, zero tolerance on religious extremism and violence, a tough and smart national security system, dignity for the public sector, government for the people, financial markets, inspiring women, empowering small businesses, empowering the farmer, environment and energy, encouraging entrepreneurship and innovation, a market-ready youth population, appreciation of migrant workers, and public transport. The manifesto also includes the establishment of a court dedicated for drug-related offences and to increase the punishment for such offences. Money laundering will be made an offence under the Bribery Act. Sajith Premadasa assures that war will be waged against religious extremism and a democratic and multi-ethnic society will be developed. His policy states that Sri Lanka needs a new constitution and adds that this should be approved by the people of the country through a referendum. The manifesto proposes that the state sector will be reformed and modernized. The foreign policy will be based on the theme Sri Lanka First. Sajith Premadasa states that the fundamentals of national security will be developed and this will be done by experts in the field. He states that a National Security Council will be established to decide on issues of national security. The manifesto proposes the creation of a new position of National Security Advisor. According to the National Security Policy, the state intelligence institutions, the police, the security forces and the civil security force will be modernized along with the fundamentals of national security and adds that the national security budget will be strengthened. The police department will be modernized to respond to an emergency call within 20 minutes. Sajith Premadasa hopes to establish a centralized intelligence network both here in Sri Lanka and overseas.
I
give you an assurance that we will create a country that is sovereign and protect the territorial integrity and political independence of the nation. We will give prominence to the Buddha Sasana and protect other religions and create a country where sovereignty is vested with the people. We will bring about an era that not only gives prominence to the development of civil, economic and human rights but also economic, social as well as cultural rights. A just society will be created based on the Dasaraj Dharma. We will never forget our local roots and culture when working with the international community.
Presenting facts under responsible leadership, Sajith Premadasa states that he will discontinue the duty-free vehicle permits issued to all 225 members of parliament. The manifesto also states that a multi-party committee will assess the perks and privileges of parliamentarians. He also assures that the salary and pension anomalies of military servicemen will be solved. Sajith Premadasa, who announced an array of concessions for small and medium-scale businessmen, also states that tax concessions will be given to provide ease in conducting their businesses. Thereby, the lower limit on which value-added tax is imposed on will be increased from 12 million to 50 million per year. It has also been proposed that these businesses should earn an income of 4 million rupees per month to be subject to this tax. Sajith Premadasa also states that a special economic zone will be established in every district. He states that local development banks will be established to provide long-term loans for these projects. Sajith Premadasa's manifesto also states that people on the crib for defaulting a loan below 1 million rupees before 2019 will be taken off the list for a period of 1 year. He also pledges to reduce indirect taxes to 60% and strengthen direct taxes to establish a just tax scheme. He adds that withholding tax and other taxes will be simplified. The manifesto also includes a proposal to increase the lower limit of payee tax from 100,000 rupees to 150,000 rupees. It also proposes a reduction in VAT from 15% to 12.5%. The manifesto states that the age of retirement for both state and private sectors will be increased by 3 years. It also proposes a 300,000 rupee loan to be provided to drivers of rented vehicles and three-wheeler drivers for vocational training. Sajith Premadasa proposes a control price of 50 rupees per kilo of paddy. He added that agricultural colleges will be established in all plantation districts in the country. The manifesto states that import of pepper and other low-quality spices that are re-exported under the name of Sri Lanka spices will be banned. The main contractors of construction projects will be exempted from the nation-building tax. All citizens above the age of 35 will be given the opportunity to undertake a medical examination for free every year.